All right, let's take a look at number one of the 20 shapes. Remember the tools that we have gone over that we're going to be used to draw some of these shapes are line, dimension, fillet, chamfer, and extrude. Now, when we look at a shape, we need to think a little bit about how we're going to draw it. So I know that this is my front view, looking at it in that direction. And notice that I've got a front view up here in the inventor screen. And I want those to match. It's not always the most important thing, but it's a good practice. So we're going to kind of design this to match that view. And so I think the best way to draw this would be to start with this surface right here. So I would maybe draw this angled surface, and then I would, that actually goes straight here, sorry. And that would extend, it would extrude back. Okay, so I'm going to have this shape right here, and then that would be one extrusion. And then what I would do is I would maybe choose this surface, and I would draw a rectangle. This would be just a regular old rectangle. And I would extrude that, of course, down because I used that surface. And then I could add a chamfer to this corner to chamfer that down. So that's kind of what I'm going to be thinking about as I go through this. So let's take a zoom in look here at this shape. Might have it in front of you as well. I'm going to try and shrink this down just a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and we opened up a new standard IPT. Let's select a 2D sketch and notice that this is the front. So I'm going to choose this plane right here. I've got my origin, which is where I want to start my object. And so I will use the line command. I'll snap to the origin. And if I look at my 1/4 inch graph, I can see that the height is 1 1/4. I can see I'm going to go over 0.75. I don't know this angle or the length of the angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish freehanding this. I'm going to go, even with this bottom at an angle, and then I'm going to snap to the origin. And what I can do is dimension the bottom because I do know the length of that. And that's 1.25. Finish my sketch, and I will extrude. And I'm going to extrude back the other way. And I'm going to extrude 1.5 inches. So 1.5. Okay. And that is the first part of shape one. Notice that this front view matches that. So we're in, as we had planned here anyway. I said the next thing we're going to do is put a sketch on this top view. So let's do that. All right. Now, anytime I'm going to sketch on a surface, I like to use this little tool here called Project Geometry. And what it does, you can kind of see here, it's going to basically just highlight a surface and it makes it yellow. Okay, and why that's important is I'm going to go ahead and now use my line tool and it snaps to that. It snaps there, and that's what I really want. Now I don't know the spacing right here, but I'll dimension that later. Let's see, I got to figure out how long to make this rectangle. So I counted squares, and I should be 6 squares. So that's 1.5 inches. There we go. 0.5 inches down, and I'm going to snap to here. All right. Now I didn't draw this line, but since I projected it, it should be able to extrude. Now I do need this to be centered. So I do need to dimension from here or from the corner. I'll probably just go from this line to this line. Notice it gives me that dimension, and that should be 0.5. And I'll just undo that for a minute. If I were to dimension from the corner to, let's say, here, it probably would still work. Sometimes it does send it in goofy directions. So we should be good to go. And I'm now going to extrude that rectangle this way, that same distance of the other extrusion, which is 1.25, not 1.5, 1.25. All right, and you can see now we've got this object like so, and it's going to automatically merge these two surfaces together. Okay, so over here I've got 2 extrusions, and I just need to do one more, add one more feature, and I'll be done. And so I'm going to go ahead and look at the chamfer of this. I need to add a 3-dimensional chamfer. So there's chamfer. And I can add it to this corner. And if I look at it like this, you can see the chamfer happening. Now it's set to be an equal distance chamfer. So that means basically a 45-degree angle. Well, the chamfer I need is different in the both directions. So I need to select this option. I'll select that again. All right. And you can see that, this one goes all the way down here, which should be 1.25. And this one, now if I look at my graph, I can see that goes 0.5. And I'll apply that. And now when I click on the home view, it looks just like the object in the 20 shapes. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a save. Make sure you save this to the folder we had set up, and we're going to call it 1 of 20. Make sure it should say your practice folder up here, so please navigate to that, and you're done with number 1.